r/ask Reddit. What social norm do you not follow? I sleep in a different bedroom than my wife about 95% of the time. My wife is a very light sleeper and I snore a lot, so when we sleep in the same bed she gets very little sleep. My husband used to have this problem until he got tested for sleep apnea. He got a CPAP machine and holy shit, our married life has never been better. He gets real sleep now, so he's healthier and happier. I sleep well with him because he doesn't snore. Sadly though, after sex instead of our past cuddles till sleep, I look at him and say put your mask on. He usually replies you put your mouth guard in. I don't want to pay for you grinding your teeth to nubs. Sexy. Please go on. I'm not finished yet. Posting happy birthday on someone's Facebook page on their birthday. I removed my birthday from Facebook. It's actually kinda nice to get like 6 texts rather than 100 wall posts. I did this once and received 2 calls from family members. One of them was on the wrong day. And now my most upvoted comment is about how nobody remembers my birthday, and many people seem to have that in common. People are sad. I'm an admin director for the company I work for. I have my own office. I have a hamster that I keep in my office. Everyone at work thinks I'm crazy, but I DGAF because I have an adorable little floof waiting for me every morning and she likes to climb around on me while I answer emails. I apologize for nothing. Edit. Due to popular demand. Here she is. She's learning a new skill : edit. Here are some gifs of Butterfingers. She likes shenanigans. GIF 1, GIF 2. I have a little mouse on my desk and he runs around in my pockets and on my shoulders when I do work. He's my teeny personal assistant. Your mouse says you have a meeting regarding giving him carrots immediately. Don't be late is important. I talk to myself a shit ton lot. I do this. Been caught out a few times too. My usual response is it's the only way to have a decent conversation. A habit of the old, they choose the wisest person present to speak to. I play the objective in FPS games. Are you sick? It's funny in Halo when people say that I suck because they went 23 while I only went 510. But I have 2 flag captures and they have none. Makeup. I'm not against it and sometimes I'll wear it out in the evenings. I even enjoy watching YouTube makeup tutorials, but all in all I wear it maybe once a month. I went to work the other day with makeup on and to my surprise my co-worker came up and was like, no, you were my role model. I'm not protesting anything. I'm just lazy. I hate how making a cosmetic choice like makeup or growing out your armpit hair or wearing a hijab are so politicized, and that doing them or not doing them is automatically a political statement. Shit man, sometimes I just don't feel like shaving. I'm not trying to dismantle patriarchal beauty standards by being lazy. Maybe I'm having a bad hair day and I have a sweet scarf I'd like to wear over it. Nope, depending on who you ask I must be either supporting Muslim women or a hateful ideology. I just wanna do whatever without people assuming shit. I'm about as big of a feminist as they come. But if one more person says that I've internalized misogyny because I like winged eyeliner and smooth legs, I'm gonna snap. Internalized misogyny is being a woman and thinking all other women are crazy bitches. But you're cool because you play video games and hang with guys. Internalized misogyny certainly isn't about liking the feeling of smooth legs against fresh sheets. FFS. And I'm not dismantling the patriarchy because I'm not wearing makeup. I dismantle it by actually doing shit rather than subtweeting half-assed critiques of other feminists. Chit chat is BS. I'm happy to sit and let everyone drown in the silence. Depends on the chit chat. Weather can duck right off, but I'll gladly indulge a shitty meme, or a dream or something more abstract. Weather can duck right off. I feel like I'm the only one who genuinely likes weather as small talk. Edit. It has now become exceptionally clear that I am not the only one who feels this way. I don't follow any sports at all. Nearly everyone I know has at one point talked in depth about some sport where everything they say just goes over my head. I'm a big sports fan. I have ticket packages with multiple local teams and I go to a live game probably about once per week on average. Heck, my TV might as well be called the Fox Sports Box. If you don't care about sports, that's cool. Just tell me. There are other things I care about and discuss. Just say, hey, man, I don't really care too much about sports. What I absolutely hate is when people act high and mighty like they're somehow superior for not watching sports. I can only hear so many people talk about sports ball or ask me about that ludicrous display last night before it just gets unoriginal and you look like an a-hole. At that point, you've actually made a conscious effort to demean my hobby and people who participate in it. That's just not cool. This, posting that Facebook status update about Go Sports Team, hit a touchdown. That was dad joke status when it was first said, and now, a jillion Facebook reposts later it's beaten to death. I can legally drink but choose not to. You are not alone. I'm fine with people drinking responsibly, but please don't pester me, trying to make me drink. It's so ducking annoying. I don't mind being friends with somebody who has widely different opinions than mine. That's what makes good interactions and how you learn new things. My wife and I have completely opposite political views, but it's nice that we can hear the other side with a rational conversation. I don't partake in work stuff. I know everyone I work with thinks I am weird because I don't attend work functions, etc. I really don't want to work with 95% of them, let alone socialize with them. I used to be the same way simply because I have very little in common with most of them. I left for about 1.5 years and just came back a few months ago. I don't spend all my time with them now, but upon returning, I have tried to make a point of going out with at least few of them once every other week, on average, to get drinks. It's true that I see them a lot already, but I've never bothered to really get to know them. Part of the reason I left in the first place was because I was miserable and felt like I had no accountability or any good reason to stay. But having spent time meeting them and talking with them, it started a lot of good friendships that make some shifts. I work in a restaurant, a lot more bearable. I get invited to go out like every week from my coworkers. I never go, yet they still ask, haha. I feel rude, but I really don't like going out anymore. Saying goodbye, whether it be a telephone call or a party, I have tried. It comes out too darkly. Some call it the Irish exit. I just call it. This behavior will make people think that they're not important to you. Or better yet, when you finally do say goodbye, that special person will get weak in the knees. I don't use the Reddit app on my phone. Straight to the full site, baby. You're insane. I haven't worn a bra for 2 years now. So much better. Well, frankly, Carl, people were starting to wonder why you wore one in the first place. I'm imagining John Oliver's voice saying that. Duck pants. Do you have special pants for ducking or do you hate pants? The world must know. As always, relevant XKCD https xkcd.com/90. I judge someone based off of my interaction with them, not yours. You can tell me all about how that person is a beach and shouldn't be trusted, but if I spend time with them and they seem pretty okay, then they're pretty okay by me. Well, this has led me to having 3 close friends that all somehow hate each other, meaning I have 3 times 1 friend at a time. Sleep at night and be awake in the daytime. I get 8 hours of sleep a night, and about 12 during the day. May the 4 hours be with you. I don't like hugs. It's not really a personal space issue. It's more of I have scoliosis and certain people hug way too hard and I don't feel like risking unnecessary pain because someone wants a hug. Oh man. I used to be a hug everyone type person, and I'm really big. 6 feet 6 inches, 230-ish lbs, until one night, I was a bit drunk, saw a friend I hadn't seen in a week or 2 and gave her a big hug. She had just had surgery that day and I popped a stitch. I never forgave myself, and now I always ask first. Good on you, seriously. I really don't like hugging people. It's always totally forced on my end. I definitely appreciate someone asking first. My husband and I have never called each other any positive term of endearment. No baby or sweetheart or honey. We were joking about it when we first started dating and called each other poophead. Now, 6 years later, it's still the only thing we call each other. My boyfriend and I sometimes playfully call each other things like loser, dumbass, shit for brains, etc. We've had some people express concern that we're in a mutually abusive relationship, when that couldn't be further from the truth. Username. Taking selfies when a group hangs out. It's not that I don't like taking selfies with my best friends. It's just the aftermath that I hate. Many of my friends actually compare how many likes the same photo they both posted got. A third person may not see it, but as a very close friend, you can easily see the ego conflicts. That, and taking photos of everyday restaurant food. Everyone knows what the dish looks like. You don't need to take a photo and check in all the time. Sometimes, it just gets frustrating. You're sitting there, gorging down on the food, and your friends keep finding alternate angles with better lighting for posting to Instagram or Facebook. I completely agree. My wife and I went out for sushi last night. The food came and looked immaculate. We just looked at each other in appreciation and dug in. Halfway through I said, "Shit, we forgot to take a picture and put it on social media. If we don't do that, did we ever really eat it?" Double quote. She glared at me for interrupting her voracious eating and went back to her meal. My GF asks me to take selfies of her. I explain that it's just called a photo at that point. People generally have lives. I've decided to subvert this by staying in my room eating Doritos all year round. Edit. To those who asked, this is a joke. I don't eat Doritos. I like eating the whole kiwi fruit. Do you like shave it, or do you just enjoy having a fruit's pubes in your teeth? I'm a recent convert. I wear 3 socks on my dong to make a sock-shaped bulge. No one pays any attention to it anyway, and I know that for a fact. I do. Me too. People always look at me like I'm crazy when I comment on their Argyle socks. They look snazzy. I keep right except to pass. Plot twist. He lives in London. Since when did society decide I have to change and wash a t-shirt after every individual use? If it's not dirty, I'm gonna wear it. The trick is to alternate without washing so they think you washed it the next time you wear it. I never ever answer the phone. Or the door. And an open door is a happy door. A door that never opens is not a door, it's a wall. I'm assertive, outspoken and gregarious Swede. I have no issues going against consensus, making myself uncomfortable or communicating clearly. If someone cuts me off in a line, I don't silent fume. I call them out. This is not very Swedish at all. Hate to break it to you, you might be American. I do fit right in when I visit nowadays. Actually, I learned that it's okay to be this way from Americans. I just didn't quit being like this when I got back to Sweden. I don't pretend to be interested in your kids. They are background noise to me. Also, if you have a pet, I won't pretend to be interested in you. You are background noise to me. I eat my burgers upside down. The top bun faces the ground. But why? Just because people literally freak out over it. I find it's funny. I used to do it to get a rise out of people. Now it's become weird to eat it any other way. I place blame with low talkers instead of asking forgiveness for not having super hearing. I agree with this, but prefacing any sentence with sorry is a hard habit to break for some Canadians. Surprised I haven't seen it yet. I don't give a damn about celebrities, actors, etc. If the movie interests me, I'll go regardless of who did it. Oh, and I rarely see movies upon release date. Talk about money. I am very open with what I earn in work settings, because transparency of pay makes pay inequity, discrimination, exploitation a lot harder for employers to get away with. I am also always willing to show people my investment portfolio because I use it as a way to introduce them to a facet of their life that they know little about but which has an outsized impact. Edit. A few sources. Why being transparent about pay is good for business. Wall Street Journal. Striving for status. A field experiment on relative earnings and labor supply. E. Hewitt Vaughan. First, those exposed to information about their placement in the earnings distribution provide significantly more labor effort on average than those with no information about peer earnings. Second, labor supply elasticity with respect to net of tax wages, a key sufficient statistic for optimal income tax policy, is unchanged between the two groups. Third, the higher productivity observed among workers exposed to relative earnings information is driven by those workers who experienced an exogenously assigned high relative earnings rank and low average comparison group earnings. Fourth, this later finding is gendered in the sense that women supply more labor regardless of whether they learn they occupy high or low relative standing, while men supply significantly more labor only upon learning they occupy high relative standing. Signaling in secret, pay for performance, and the incentive and sorting effects of pay secrecy, E. Bologolovsky and P. A. Bamberger results indicate that pay secrecy has an adverse impact on individual task performance. Results also indicate that pay secrecy has a similar adverse effect on participant continuation intentions, particularly among high performers. As a man, I talk openly about my feelings. Edit. Unintentional punctuation marks. I do chewy just wish someone would listen. Those stupid clothing trends. I wear whatever the duck I like and whatever I is within the price range I want to deal with. I never ask how are you to customers because the truth is, I really don't care to know past the usual I'm fine thanks. I learned this after asking that to a customer who promptly told me his girlfriend had just jumped off a bridge so he wasn't doing too well. Or the woman who told me she suffered from a condition that felt like she had glass in her blood and was in excruciating pain all the time. Saying bless you after someone sneezes. Hope that norm will disappear someday. Personally, I've stopped attributing a religious connotation to it. I use it colloquially to mean whoops you sneezed, sorry about that. Just know it's no issue at all. It's easier to say and understand than gestate. I see it as you have sneezed. I acknowledge you and your sneeze, more than the whole religious, trying to keep the devil from taking your soul. Besides, most people feel that way these days. You want someone to give a damn that you sneeze and that you may be sick. It makes you feel better that someone cares. There's two obligations that fit into social norms that I both refuse to do or entertain for very long. The whole showing guests around the house norm. Bleh, when I'm a guest in someone's house, unless I'm staying the night, I only care where the bathroom is. I don't want to tour around the house to see all the rooms and admire the backyard. I should also mention that I don't offer people tours around my place routinely, either. I've sometimes caught flack about it, usually a playful what? Not gonna show me around? Hehe. Which leads me to begrudgingly give a half-assed tour, the showing pictures of a vacation norm. This goes double if you're showing me a series of pictures that don't actually include you. You wanna go to Ireland and admire the lush, vast rolling hills? Amazing. And it's great you could go. Due you to spend a half hour meticulously scrolling through 20 pictures of the lush, vast rolling hills? No thanks. The hair thing guys are doing nowadays. You're gonna have to be more specific. Undercut, short on the sides, long on top. It's a good cut and looks decent even a few weeks after the cut, but yet it's basically what 80% of guys get now. Upvoting things on Reddit. I spend like 12 hours a day on here, but very rarely will I upvote anything at all. 99% of reality TV. I give 0 ducks. I'm a man that likes to use an umbrella parasol when it's sunny. Some people like to give me shit about it being girly, but duck it, portable shade is dope, and any implications of it being feminine is arbitrary F. I am a white, 40-year-old mom. I live in an upper middle class neighborhood and I don't drink wine or caffeinated coffee. I see 50 memes a day about it being wine 30, or all I need is coffee and Jesus. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.